So let's talk further about cancel culture, and in this segment we will also be talking about Meghan Markle. Now you might think, well, hang on a second, what's Meghan Markle got to do with cancel culture? And the answer will reveal itself. But anyway, so Dr. Seuss was cancelled the other day. 6 books had dramatic representations of people who have non-European heritage, and so of course it was cancelled, and then people started selling it on eBay for prices of upwards of $5,000 a book, and then eBay were like, oh no you don't, and decided to deplatform them from selling second-hand Dr. Seuss books.
Just in case you're wondering, yes, you can buy Mein Kampf on eBay.
Yeah, that was actually the next thing.
Oh, you actually had that?
Yes. Unironically, you actually can go on eBay and buy an original 1941 copy of Mein Kampf. Height of the war, this was published. The Germans are busy ravaging continents, and you can buy that. That's fine, right? But look, go back to the previous one. So the previous one, the eBay have given us a reason, right? This is amazing. One seller who sold a copy of one of the discontinued books received an email from eBay pointing out that the site would not allow the book to be sold because of its, quote, offensive materials policy, explaining that they've stopped the publication of this book due to its negative portrayal of some ethnicities. And then if we flip back to Mein Kampf...
I wish I'd taken some quotes out about the Jews just to make the point.
Yeah, well, I mean, yes, but like the point is,
it's a very, very anti-Semitic book. If you ever get through even just the first couple of chapters.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we don't have to explain that to people.
Yeah.
But the point is, yeah, if this is the case, then I mean, the idea that this is about anything other than just, the sort of the vector of public outrage. This particular point has been, zoomed in on by the Twitter hate mob, and quick, cancel that. Yeah, but what about this giant anti-Semitic tome over here? Yeah, no, we've got thousands of those. You can buy those all the time.
I think I know what eBay will say in response to this, which is the same thing the British government does when we ban
historical value.
Yeah, they have I think it's like a 50-year moratorium or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's like after that period, then it's no longer of interest in banning.
Yeah, but how old's Dr. Seuss?
I don't know.
It was from the 50s.
I think that one would actually...
So that excuse wouldn't even work?
No, it wouldn't. It's a good point.
And the thing is, it's not like you can't buy new copies of Mein Kampf as well. So it's like...
The Indians are producing them like mad.
Yeah, exactly. They are, yeah.
I could just go on Amazon. They're all produced in India.
Weirdly popular. So yeah, anyway... The problem with cancel culture is, of course, that it's not consistent. It's about outrage on Twitter, as we talked about last podcast. And the best one, though, and I kind of actually agree with this one, is Pepe Le Pew is absolutely next on the chopping block. I would have used the New York Times Post, but the New York Times Post was paywalled, so I had to go for the TMZ reporting on this instead. New York Times op-ed writer claims skunk perpetuated rape culture. Have you ever watched Pepe Le Pew?
I think I've seen it before. Doesn't he just smell bad?
No, he is basically a rapist.
Oh, is he?
So yeah, oh yeah. I mean, I remember even as a kid thinking this is weird, right? Because he is essentially actually a rapist, and it's hard to disagree with this New York Times op-ed writer. So he brought. I mean, the first complaint isn't actually about Pepe Le Pew. It's about Speedy Gonzalez and Mammy Two Shoes.
Because racism takes more precedent over raping.
Oh, apparently it does. The Speedy Gonzalez is a negative depiction of a Mexican.
Is it? Is it negative?
I mean, it's inaccurate.
I mean, is it not just a joke?
I don't know. I don't know. I can't believe that these are the discussions we have to have. But anyway, so these are racially insensitive pictures of a Mexican mouse and a black housemaid, and therefore cancelled. But the important one was Pepe Le Pew, because he genuinely does perpetuate rape culture. He normalizes and perpetuates it, saying, quote, right-wing blogs are mad because I said Pepe Le Pew added to rape culture. Let's see. 1, he grabs and kisses a girl stranger repeatedly without consent against her will. She struggles mightily to get away from him, but he won't release her. He locks the door to prevent her escaping. Yes. That's true. I mean, he literally is. The whole cartoon is this French skunk running, literally chasing down this woman to rape her, and she's doing everything she can to get away from him as well. And I remember being a kid and watching this and thinking, right, okay, I don't like this. This I don't particularly like this character. They're not wrong.
Is that like his common joke, or
it's the entire theme of the character?
Okay.
There is nothing else about this character other than the fact that he is a horny Frenchman who's trying to rape women. That's
so it. It's not an inaccurate description.
Not at all. Absolutely not at all. I mean, if anything was going to be cancelled for being in this sort of domain, Pepe Le Pew is actually a legitimate target. I'm not even going to lie. They at least have a real argument here. But anyway, the reason I want to talk about cancel culture is because of Meghan Markle, because this is all getting quite spicy. Now, I don't give a damn about Meghan Markle or the royal family or any of the drama, blah, blah, blah.
Traitor.
I know. I'm not saying I want to get rid of them. I'm saying that's fine. They can exist. I just don't care, But the Americans love it. There are presumably people in Britain who love it. It's just not my thing. But anyway, so the allegations have been flying thick and fast because Meghan Markle, as I'm sure people are aware, married Prince Harry, who's definitely the true and legitimate descendant of Prince Charles, in the same way that Justin Trudeau is definitely Pierre Trudeau's son. And I'm in trouble now. But the point is, they got married, and the drama surrounding her and her relationship with him has been very interesting. And they said, "Oh, we're going to step back. We don't want any press coverage. We don't want to be out in the limelight." And somehow they're still doing all of these interviews. I mean, they did one recently with Oprah Winfrey. Really, you don't want press coverage, and yet you do an interview with Oprah Winfrey. Very congruent. But anyway, so the palace have made their first move in this war, and I think they've already made a mistake, frankly. They accused Meghan Markle of bullying the staff in the palace because everyone was concerned about the staff in the palace, and this came in reports of her I don't know, bullying and attacking various people in the palace, and they were like, "No, this is an attack on her character," and the palace is like, "We don't accept bullying." It's like, I don't know. Priti Patel's probably there stomping on Philip Putnam's face as we speak. Maybe you do. Just don't know. But anyway, the response to this from Meghan Markle and her friends was pretty extreme. If we can go to the next one. They're trying to make her miscarry. That's a hell of a statement. These people will not, because of course she's pregnant with another child. Congratulations! And the tabloids and the palace have a particular kind of secret relationship. It's not really secret. I mean, everyone knows that.
No, it's unspoken rules.
Yeah, unspoken rules. But everyone knows what it is, and it's the fact that the tabloids will give nothing but fawning, glowing praise to the royal family in exchange for access and photos, because they assume that people want that. And so yeah, in response, these people won't stop until she miscarries, which is a bit ridiculous, really, I would have thought. But hey, what are you going to do? I mean, break out the big guns. You can see the stakes have been raised. This is getting serious. But we haven't got to the ultimate allegation yet. But anyway, so this is obviously part of a palace takedown, according to... Who was it according to? UK broadcaster Gayle King. Says the Duchess of Sussex was vilified on their show, and the palace, which is also known as The Firm, has launched what appears to be a full-scale takedown of Meghan Markle, which is raging in the UK right now, saying she was a mean girl who mistreated staff, and if you meet Meghan Markle, nothing could be further from the truth. Of course, they hit back by going, yeah, but Jeffrey Epstein and Prince Andrew, and the palace is like, ooh, ixnay on the Andrew, eh? We don't want to talk about that. And so anyway, you can see how incompetently the palace has actually handled this, because a bunch of commentators, we can go to the next one, John, a bunch of commentators, royal commentators, sorry. So these are the people whom the tabloids used to gain access to the royal family, and this is how this sort of relationship works. They had recorded a bunch of stuff that was released after recorded a bunch of stuff before the Oprah Winfrey broadcast to comment on what was said in the Oprah Winfrey interview, not that it was correct, and then they got exposed as having done this, and so obviously they're just saying pre-scripted things. They knew which side they were going to be on, they knew they were all going to have the same opinion, and of course this is not looking good. It makes them look incompetent. It makes them look like they've been outmaneuvered by an American. an American, like, strumpet, to be honest. It's like disappointing. If you're going to play the games of high politics and media outrage, Palace, I expect you to be better than some random American woman. But she's kicking your asses? What are you doing? Anyway, so next one. Let's get back into Meghan herself. Kind of framed that wrong, really. But the story surrounding Meghan, she appears to be publicly controlling of Prince Harry, and this is something that people have noticed for quite some time. It's not just in the fact that he seems to be melting in place while she looks over and smirks at him as if she's the cat that got the cream, but it's in the body language, the fact that she kind of pushes him around in public and things like this. She seems to be controlling of him. And it was reported that he was depressed and isolated in Los Angeles. He must be tormented, if you can go to the next one, John, by his fractured family ties. She made him sell his hunting rifles and give up hunting and things like this. It's like, right, okay, that's nice, isn't it? You know, thanks, love. Yeah, you can't do any of the fun things you like to do. No, this has all got to go. These 50 grand hunting rifles, they've got to go.
It's not like he's in line for the throne or anything.
Well, he probably isn't, to be honest.
That's what I mean. Like, if you get shot by doing a hunting accident, it's like... Oh.
Anyway, so it's been long reported that she essentially has taken control of his life. Insiders have said that he has completely changed since meeting Markle, and obviously everyone knows that he went woke. He used to be the sort of guy who would go to parties with Nazi symbols, armbands
For a laugh.
For a laugh, yeah. He was a lad, and he's completely changed. He's become woke. He's become an activist. If we can go to the next one, John. So he's not on good terms with his brother. He doesn't spend any time with the rest of the family. She has cut him off from them, and everyone can see that it's made him miserable. If we go to the next one. People can just see it. And various insiders have been saying, well, it's not just a coincidence that he always looks depressed. I mean, you can see it in that picture. He looks concerned. She's smirking. She's the cat that got the cream. She's the one pushing him around in public. She's controlling the relationship, and everyone can see it. Anyway, so on to this Oprah Winfrey interview. Meghan Markle, in it, claims to have had suicidal thoughts during her crisis with the monarchy before she and Harry left. She was pregnant with her previous son, and there were conversations about how dark his skin might be and concerns the child might be too brown.
Obvious lie.
I mean...
there's no way I believe that.
He's going to be like an octoroon, isn't he?
But that's the thing.
As a fellow octoroon, I can tell you, you're not that
like, she's so white already. Like, any child that comes out of that is not even going to be slightly brown skinned.
And the ginger prince. Yeah. Well,
that's going to come out black, is it? Yeah, no, it's not. No, it's not.
But it doesn't really matter, because the point is, of course, we can go to the next one, that we have reached the ultimate progressive takedown. The royal family are racist. I mean, probably. They're very...
I mean, she is like 80, 90? I don't even know.
Yeah, racism is a form of exclusion, but they're really exclusionary in every other way too. I mean, they're going to be classist. They mean, like, literally any family that's not part of the royal family.
I mean, literally sexist as well.
Yeah, like...
Well, until they got rid of the rules.
Well, yeah.
About becoming king.
Religionist, presumably. I mean, is it good? Are we going to...
Yeah, no Catholics.
Well, absolutely.
No Catholics whatsoever.
Presumably no Muslims either.
No, Muslims are allowed.
How are we going to have a Muslim head of the Protestant church?
That's the rules. You tell me.
Yeah,
We've never had to deal with that problem, so...
Well, that's a good point, but I imagine it's going to come up eventually. But yes, so the way this is being reported by places like Cosmopolitan, Meghan Markle has opened up to Oprah about the racism she experienced while living in England. Specifically, the Duchess revealed there was a racist concern about her dark-skinned baby, even though she already has a baby.
Look, this is a black woman, is it?
Apparently, yeah.
What are they trying to sell? I can see you.
I mean, if you didn't tell me, I wouldn't have known, to be honest. I would have assumed you're from Spain or something. But anyway.
She looks like Southern England, even.
No, I could see, like, dark hair, she's got quite dark hair, dark eyes.
Maybe a stretch.
So, I could say, Italian, Spanish, something like that.
Nah.
Looks plausible. But she says, in those months when I was pregnant around the same time, we had in tandem the conversation, he won't be given security, he won't be given a title, blah, blah, and then conversation about how dark his skin will be when he's born. So yes, we have reached the strongest weapon they have, which is racism.
You racist.
You racist.
But it's obviously bull.
Yep.
Woman.
And the worst part is the palace have kind of stuck their foot in their mouths by, if you go to the next one, admitting that racism is the highest crime that is possible to commit. There's no place for racism in our society, says one palace minister. There is a place in society for Prince Andrew, an alleged child rapist, and fan of a convicted child sex trafficker, personal friend of which before he committed suicide, but racism is more important and somehow worse.
I look forward to them denouncing classism as well.
It's surely not going to be as bad as racism. But yeah, anyway, so this was a palace minister who should have shut his goddamn mouth. There's no place for racism in our society.
You should have just turned around and be like, you ain't brown.
I mean...
That would have been funnier.
Yes, but but the point is they've already conceded the ultimate premise, which is if she can pin them as being racist, then they win because they've admitted that racism is worse than anything else. I mean, she could have been, and she looks like the type, to be honest, to have been bullying the hell out of the staff. You know, listen, you untermensch servants, you know, do this, do that, do that. She seems like that kind of type, you know, kind of bossy, bitchy woman, right? But if they're racist, then suddenly they're oppressing her. It's like... nonsense. And the way this has been reported as well, I love, is what does this say NBC News, about British racism? Oh, it's the whole country that's racist. Thanks, Palace. Thanks for doing this to us. They interview a bunch of black African students who have come to England and say, like this Enolia Ladapo remembers vividly how she felt watching the American actress become royalty. The image of a biracial foreign woman welcomed into the bosom of white traditionalist Britain carried colossal symbolism for her. I feel like I'm talking to a racist here. I'm being talked at by racists. Like, yeah, well, I mean, if you don't share my skin colour, I hate your monarchy.
It is how the alt-right talk.
It is how the alt-right talk, right? I saw a white person being represented and I thought, oh, finally, I'm being represented. And it's cringe. Anyway, the history of the royal family is built around the British Empire, so it's almost like coming full circle, said Ladapodo, 19, who grew up in Nigeria and is now an undergraduate student at the London School of Economics. I thought now there's going to be a child in the monarchy who, no matter small, has some African heritage in him. And that's what matters. It was so powerful to me. Another person, Munya Chawawa, 27, a broadcaster and satirist who was a pundit for the BBC during that day, said, "It felt like something out of a storybook. I actually felt a bit tearful, seeing a foreign woman of colour not only being accepted into the royal family, but applauded by the masses filling the streets. I felt like I was a part of a moment in history." And then someone called Peace Ogbanuai said, "Of course, no one's going to call her an effing N-word in a headline. Maybe in America they would write that, but in Britain they're more subtly racist. You can see it in the mannerisms and the way they treat people. That's right. American media is full of nothing but effing N-words in the headlines." What world do you lunatics live in?
MSNBC reporting effing N-words kneeled on by cops. Like, is that what he thinks the media is? What the fuck? Oh, I'm sorry.
I just don't know what world these people live in.
In pseudo world. I mean, the fact that this is of importance to them at all is also just, crazy.
All I'm saying is, Brian Stelter, you have expectations placed on you. And her friend Rhoda Sakati, 16, chimed in, "They are blinded by their white privilege. It's the older white men." Her friends joining in and prompted to enunciate the words in unison. "The white men are the ones who are chatting the most." Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. That's right. And so we have the if we can go to the next one, the allegations. It's racism. So Meghan Markle's fans are calling racism on the palace's allegations of bullying. So accusing Meghan Markle of bullying palace staff is itself a racist allegation and proof of the racism. Checkmate. I mean, it's kind of concerning that you could just logically invert this and say, yeah, well, allegations of racism are a form of bullying. Have you considered that? Because I think actually at this point they probably are, to be honest. Let's be honest. It was just
for the undersecretary who's watching.
Yeah, exactly. You literally should be saying this. Calling people racist without any kind of explicit proof is a form of bullying. But of course, the reason I bring this up in a segment about cancel culture is because this is where this is all going. That's right. Cancel the monarchy. As we arrived at. If we can go to the next one, John. LBC are reporting that an anti-monarchy group called Republic has weighed in, going, well, of course, we're very progressive Republicans, and therefore the monarchy needs to go. Their chief executive, Graham Smith, has called for an honest debate about the future of the monarchy after shocking revelations and accusations made by the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. I think they've actually had those titles rescinded from them, so they're not. It's just some random American and her ginger husband. He branded the fallout from the 2-hour interview the worst crisis facing the institution since the abdication of Edward VIII in 1936. Pretty sure Edward VIII was pro-Nazi, which is why he abdicated.
Well, it's also because of the American divorcee.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. She was twice divorced, which made a bit of a problem of him being the king of the church. And also, she's an American, so,
What, the king of Henry VIII's church?
Yes.
Oh, God.
I mean, you tell me why, but that's how it works. But, Americans, twice. Yeah. Twice now.
So, hashtag abolish the monarchy was, of course...
No. You just turn around and be like, abolish Americans from marrying into the family.
Based.
We're all done.
I mean, honestly, I think accepting an American into the royal family was a mistake.
Yeah. Just because they don't understand the institution. I'm sorry to be rude, but this is the problem. Look, there's only 2 scalps. No, we're not doing this the 3rd time.
Yeah. This, of course, as I said, led to the hashtag abolish the monarchy trending on social media all the last day. Piers Morgan had to chime in saying, so abolish the monarchy is now trending, albeit below me. Congratulations, Meghan and Harry. Your mission is complete. So Meghan Markle, according to Piers Morgan, was a kind of like, I don't know how to describe it, kind of like a Chinese spy whose mission was to infiltrate, sleep her way to the top of the monarchy and break it apart from the inside.
There is some people in the chat suggesting that that's what was going on. That the Revolutionary War never ended, it just went by different means.
If you enjoyed this segment from the podcast of the Lotus Eaters, you can watch the full broadcast live every weekday at 1 PM UK time on lotuseaters.com.